Okay, so the sun came out, which is great, but not what I expected. It was very overcast for the entire day, and then the sun came out right as I sat down. So that's lovely, but hopefully the lighting isn't too distracting. Regardless, today I wanted to do a flip through of this journal. So if you've seen my mid-year journaling ecosystem video, or the update to that, you will recognize this journal. I've talked about it before. It's, at this point, my main journal, I would say. Not necessarily for memory keeping, even though I do some memory keeping in here. My main memory keeper is a 5-year diary. But this is the journal that I go in when I want to actually just write or do like journaling prompts or any kind of thing like that. This is where I go. And I do have some aesthetic pages in here because I do kind of full moon and new moon journaling, and also some monthly recaps and reading reviews. It's also my reading journal. So all of that, I figured this would be a good one to do a flip through of. So yeah, starting, I guess, with the cover. Okay, as I've mentioned in other videos, I have a cat and a dog, and they both have black fur. So the white desk is sometimes a problem for me, so just ignore all the little pet hairs that you see. So the cover on this journal is a Galen leather journal. I think this is, I want to say it's their Crazy Horse, and I think it's Crazy Horse Orange, which it's not really orange at all. I don't know. I think mine was particularly not orange. I think they can get kind of bright, especially on the inside on this like raw area of the leather. But it's basically just this very nice kind of brown. I've had this cover for years, so this is very patinaed. But yeah, that is the cover that I have. It fits the leuchtturm really well. It has a like elastic that you just slip in the cover for. So it can fit either a very thin covered book if you actually put it in the flaps, or a thicker like hardcover book like a leuchtturm. You can just use the elastic band to hold it in, and that works great. I love this cover. I used it for many years now. So yeah, that's the cover. The book itself, as I just said, it's a leuchtturm 1917. It is dot grid, and the cover is the Sage cover. I have it in a clear cover from Sterling Ink. So it fits pretty well. I just wanted something to protect the stickers on the front. So it doesn't fit exactly, as you can see. There's like a little gap here. It fits very well, but it is a little bit slightly off size. But yeah, that's what the clear cover is. The clear cover does have a pen loop on the outside, which is nice. So I just keep my pen there. I also use Midori. These Midori? Yeah, Midori little metallic tabs throughout. Some deco just on this side. I don't think keep anything practical in here. I also have a couple charms that go in I've punched a hole in the clear cover, and they just kind of sit there. They have come off of that right now for ease of me flipping through, but they're just going to go there. And so, yeah, that's everything. All the stickers on the cover and then also throughout the book, I have had for years. Most of the stickers that I get my stickers from Etsy, and a lot of the time I just get kind of big batches of stickers from Etsy, or I get my stickers from Mochi Things, which is a stationery store that is based in Seattle, which I love. They do have an online shop, but they were local to me. I'm no longer in Seattle, but I used to live in Seattle. So Mochi Things is one of my sources, and then Etsy for everything else. So I can't tell you exactly where all of these are from because they've come from big bulk sticker batches. I do also print my own photos sometimes, which I'll show, and I use a Canon Ivy printer for that, which uses like the zinc paper, which is really nice because it already has a sticker backing, sticker adhesive on it. So I just stick them in like that. And I basically use only one pen. It is this pen, which is also technically two pens. It's a Franken pen. So this is a Muji gel pen body, but the refill inside, or the ink inside, is a Uniball 1, just because that is archival ink, and the Muji gel pen isn't. But the Muji gel pen body, I I have a little bit of like wrist pain, carpal tunnel, in my hand and my wrist. So for some reason, the Muji gel pen body is the most comfortable for me to hold. I don't think that would be intuitive. It doesn't particularly look like it's very like therapeutic in that way, but it does. It's very nice. I think it's probably because it's so light. It helps. But yeah, so that's why I continue to use this body, even though the refill is not. It's not that. And that's it. I only use really that one pen. All right. I guess let's get into it. I wrote a little note to myself that what I wanted to achieve while I was in this book. So at the end of the book, I will open this up and see if I've achieved those things. I do use the index in here. I do the whatever the month is. And then if there is something within those months that I want to make a specific note of, I just kind of nesting all that out. So yeah, I do keep track of that. But mostly I'm just here to track like which months and where those things are. So I started this book in April. I had a journal before that I just kind of fell off of, but I used this other journal from January through March, and then in April I just kind of like trailed off of any kind of journaling. And then when I decided to I was like, okay, I need to start journaling again. I'm getting very anxious and overwhelmed, which is what happens if I don't have like a consistent journaling habit. So I decided to start this. So I started with a little vision board for the spring, summer 2025, and then a little April reflection. And then this is one of the reasons why I started this journal, is because I wanted to start doing full moon and new moon spreads. I quite enjoy journaling with astrology, even if I'm not a huge astrology girly. To be honest, I'm not really that into it, but I like the consistency of being like, twice a month I am going to do a bunch of journaling prompts and like do that introspection and be mindful during that time. So I do an aesthetic spread every new moon and full moon like this, where I just go over the astrology and like the information about that phase of the moon. And then I also do journaling prompts associated with that phase. So I find my information just from some Instagram astrologers that I follow. And then also you can just kind of Google, find articles about it. And same with the journaling prompts. You can follow an astrologer on Instagram, or maybe a couple, and kind of they'll normally post journaling prompts. So I just kind of compile those. Then I did a little April wrap up with some images. So this is the Canon Ivy with the zinc paper. For every month past April, because it was like mostly to the end of April at the point I started. But starting with May, I decided to do kind of monthly landing pages where I would do some goals for the month, and then also any events that were happening in the month, and then kind of like my state of mind going into the month, so that I could kind of check in with myself. I will probably, so I do just, this is the bulk of the journal, is just plain writing. I will probably skip these or go past them pretty quickly, just because there is some personal writing in there. And it's obviously not like particularly aesthetic, so it's fine, but I'll kind of try and flip past so you can see the percentage of pages that are just writing. Skipped a page. I do also include so this year I started doing writing contests. So a lot of microfiction and short stories that I would actually like enter into different contests. So this is the first one of the year, and I put them in here. I print them out, paste them in, put them in here after I get the feedback. So this isn't when I submitted it. This is when I got my feedback. This one I actually moved on to round 2. So this was a success. I didn't go past round 2, but I made it to round 2 out of 3. That's pretty cool. So there's that one. Did a hike. Another writing contest. This one was a 2,000 word one, so 2,000 words with a cover page equals about, it equals a 2-page spread basically in this style of printing. So I do 4 pages a page when I print, and then I cut them out and paste them in, and that fits exactly 2 spreads. Check in for writing goals specifically. It's not really mid-year. I said mid-year, and this is like in May, so I think I need to calm down. It's getting ahead of myself. This is a spread when we went to the Oregon Humane Society and picked up, we adopted a cat. She's a little black cat named Wednesday Trivia Night. So I did a spread for her. She was 6 months old when we got her. First week of June, got a specific spread because this was Ren Fair week, so this is my outfit that I wore for Ren Fair. I didn't do a spread for the fall equinox, but I did end up doing one for the summer solstice. Kind of forgot about that. I had started my Bookstagram book talk accounts this year, and I had wanted to read a lot more than I ended up reading so far the year, but I was trying to get back on track here in June, and so I decided to do a roundup of all of the books I'd read so far in the year. And yeah, just to kind of have a record of all of them in one place. I tried to do a dedicated reading journal, and I just, no, it's not for me. So I just like having them in my regular journal. I also read this series this year. So these 2 pages are all of the books that I had read at this point in the year, in June. I really like this series also. This isn't a Bookstagram video or a book video, but I recommend. This might be one of my favorite spreads. I think it aesthetically looks very nice. Tried to do something a little different in September. I was feeling very overwhelmed with content and project planning, so I tried to do a mind map. I don't really think this worked, and I don't do it again, but it was something. I tried. I like the idea of it. I'm very visual. I think I just had, honestly, too much stuff on my mind at the time, and so it didn't really help because it was too many things. If I had like a couple less projects, this might have been very helpful and a good way to visualize it. But this ended up just kind of overwhelming me. I am a Pisces sun, so maybe this is biased, but I do think this is my favorite moon spread. This is a spread with more books that I had read. I decided to wait until I had read 4 in order to put them in the book, because then I had a good space to actually write a little review. So this is kind of my style of review for that I'm going to use the rest of the year. Is I wait until I have 4 books, then I put them in here. 2 5 stars this time. So when I had read 2 more, and as I just said, I was trying to wait till I read 4 to do a spread, but starting in October, I was doing a reading challenge, or I am currently doing a reading challenge, so I wanted to just put these 2 back in September before I started the reading challenge, so that is why they're kind of stuck on here at the end. And then that's October. So this is where we are now. We're in the middle of October, and so this is a little bit past halfway, I guess, because there's 252 pages in this book, so that would be 126 would have been half, and this is 128. But yeah, so that's halfway. That's my journal so far this year. At the end of December, I'll do a flip through of the second half. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I've been doing you probably noticed that there were more just writing spreads in August and September as I really started to amp up and like use this book more intentionally. So for the rest of the year, I'm going to be trying to do that. And I plan on next year, I have 2 leuchtturms already ready to go, and I plan on filling one every 6 months, which based on the rate that I'm currently journaling makes sense. At the start, like April, May, June in here, I wasn't using this book only. I was using like another book for some writing and other things. So once I dedicated to just being in here, that's when I realized, okay, the page count works. I can do 6 months in one of these. So next year I'll have 2, hopefully. That's my plan, at least. That's my goal. That's what I would like. I like to fill 2 next year. It gives me quite a bit of satisfaction, like filling a journal. You don't feel pressured to do that much. I know that's a lot, but I genuinely love journaling. It is something that I enjoy filling my time with, so that is why I dedicate that. Like, if you don't get anything out of journaling, don't force yourself to do it, or journaling that much, don't force yourself to do it. Yeah, that is everything. It is starting to get pretty chunky. Like you can see, like this is a little bit more than halfway. I've obviously filled half of October is in here already, so I'm a little past halfway, but not that much. And that's the chunk. That's half and half, basically. So it's getting quite chunky. It's going to be interesting to see how fluffy it is when we get to the end of the year. It'll be fun to see. I'll have to do that classic journaling content creator thing where you stack the finished one on top of like a new one so you can see the difference between the page fluff. I'm gonna have to do that. That's everything. I hope you enjoyed. Hope that you found some inspiration in that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.